All right, Lesbians and Blizzards and Ohio, oh my. That's the full title. I got it here. Like most stories, this one starts with a girl. Christy was her name. She was vegan. She was straight edge. She listened to hardcore and punk and hip hop. She was pretty and she had just moved to Houston. This was 1998. So that basically made her about as rare a thing as a pet unicorn that shits gold pellets. I was instantly enthralled. She was a Hare Krishna devotee because it was 1998. Of course she was. But I didn't mind that part. She came from Ohio with her friend Molly to live here because Houston has a large Krishna temple. And Ohio, fuck me. I got this. Houston has a large Krishna temple, and Ohio is fucking cold, really cold. More on that in a minute. We became fast friends, all three of us. We hung out all the time, went to shows, talked feminist politics, went record shopping, cooked vegan food. It was like a Comet Bus story without all the overt ennui. I say overt because, believe me, there was plenty, but it was all mine. I was head over heels for Christy. She was an on-again, off-again lesbian, and I'm not here to debate gender queer politics. All I'm saying is she identified as a lesbian, but she had ex-boyfriends. And my 18-year-old brain could deal with that, but then there's this little voice in the back of my mind that kept saying she had ex-boyfriends. Couldn't she have future boyfriends? In summation, it took all I could to walk the line, not to be a creep and just be her friend. Considering my scumbag proclivities, I managed to do a stellar job. That Grease-like summer romance, except with more finger pointing and fighting the man, it came to an end, and Molly moved back to Ohio for school, leaving Christy here with me. A few months passed, and Christy and I decided we missed Molly and would like to visit for the Christmas break. Tickets were purchased, plans were made. I was excited. I missed my friend. We were going to travel. Christy and I were going to travel together, and I was going to see snow for the first time. Fuck yes. The day came, we flew out, Molly picked us up at the airport, and we're off. Everything was awesome. We had a great time. The end. I'm just fucking kidding. This is a story time story, and that's not what happened at all. Instead, what actually happened was a non-stop comedy of errors that normally I would have found hilarious, except that they were happening to me, and ended with possibly the strangest situation in which I have ever landed myself. This can be explained in 3 points, the first two culminating to the third. We'll call it a crescendo of fuckery. Point 1, fuck snow. Seriously, fuck it. This skinny swamp bio Texas boy was not prepared for the hatefulness that is 4 degrees Fahrenheit. I am a smart man, but I've never considered the fact that snow is really just rain, cold. Ergo, it is wet and cold, and it's all around you, leaving you wet and cold. See previous statement about being skinny, swampy, and bio-ish Texas-ish boy. I still feel justified in my conclusion of fuck snow. That was dream number 1 dashed against the rocks. Point 2, lesbian separatists. Let me say that again, in case some of you are currently scratching your temples the way 18-year-old me did when I was first presented with the concept, lesbian separatists. If you're still having a hard time unpacking that one, imagine white separatists, but substitute RAHOA for vulva. They're a thing, they exist, and I lived with them in Cincinnati, Ohio for a week in mid-December 1998. Apparently, what had happened was Molly met a girl at school. She fell for the girl. That girl was a lesbian separatist. Molly didn't just take this girl to bed, she took her politics to bed too. I think I've made it obvious up to this point, but I happen to be a boy, a man, a male. I was born with a penis. This made me now the enemy. Let's just say the car ride from the airport was uncomfortable, and the remaining time wasn't much better. I'm pedantic. I'll argue with a signpost if I have the inclination to do so, and that's me at 35. Me at 18, holy fuck, I would have kicked my own ass for being so obnoxiously opinionated. I couldn't stop myself from arguing with Molly, her new girlfriend, and the comrades and vaginas. What I'm getting at is that things were touchy. Point 3. the party. And here we are, folks, the party. 5 ideologically opposed days into our Midwest adventure. I was informed we would be traveling to Columbus for a friend's B-Day party. My previous knowledge of Columbus, Ohio, had to do with one line in a 15 song. I was curious. It turns out Columbus in 1998 was the South Beach, the Castro District, Montrose of the Midwest. It was really gay and really awesome. I was shocked. Here was some hope, a light at the end of the vaginal, in parentheses, tunnel. A place where I could meet some not as militantly crazy people in Ohio. The errors of youth. Nope, as we pull into town and it started snowing hard. I think it's called a blizzard. No shit. I asked a local, and yes, it was in fact a blizzard. But that didn't stop us. We went straight to the house party. I got out of the car, and after climbing a snowbank that deposited me over the porch railing, we were there. Finally, a respite from all the uncomfortable defending I had been doing about the patriarchy, cock oppression, whatever the fuck that is, and a host of other things. I opened the door, we walked in, and holy fuck, it's a rambling 2-story early century house full of lesbian separatists. The errors of youth strike again. Of course the house was full of them. I kicked myself. Snow is cold water, and lesbian separatists hang out with other lesbian separatists. Dummy. I run for cover. I try to hide. My maleness gives me away from the start. I am barraged for the first hour. I can't remember all of it, but I know at some point someone legitimately tried to blame me for dildos being shaped like penises. I'm not making that up. As the verbal assaults were taking place, I kept noticing women would stop, sometimes mid-sentence, and run upstairs with a cell phone. This was 98. Cell phones weren't as common as they are now. I was noticing this cellular vanishing act more and more until I put it together. My suspicions were confirmed when I asked, so, are you guys phone sex operators? Yes. Yes, they were. Lesbian, separatist, phone sex operators. I was 1,800 miles from home, trapped in a blizzard in a house full of lesbian, separatist, phone sex operators. In a life of poor decision-making and weird situations, this was a record moment for me. In my state of shock, I asked if that maybe, just maybe, their shitty opinion of the male species might have something to do with their chosen profession. This question nearly ended in an all-out fist fight. I was only saved by Christie's insistence that I was really a good person, even though I was a white guy from Texas. And we ended up having to stay there because, you know, blizzard. So Christy and I curled up together on the landing of the stairway and cuddled for warmth. I thought, well, this has been a shit show, but hey, things are looking upward right about now. As she snuggled her butt back into me, I thought, this is it. She rescued you from the mob. You're cuddling. Make a move. At least say something. Tell her how you feel. But the onslaught of male hate I had taken for the rest of my kind had worn me down and gotten to me. If I told Christy how I felt, would I just be proving the vulva Nazis right in their suppositions about those with penises? I thought I might be, so I didn't say anything. I shifted my weight to try and hide my raging erection and lie awake all night thinking about gender equality, male privilege, rape culture, the patriarchy, and why most dildos are shaped like penises. I'm not sure I have answers to a lot of those things now, and it's almost 17 years later. I did learn something about being open and honest about your feelings for people, and some things about knowing when to walk away when a situation just isn't for you. And most importantly, that if you don't watch yourself, when a girl gives you that look and makes you feel that way, you will do some really, really, really dumb shit.